Ever wondered what makes your favorite apps so addictive? Or why some websites just make you want to scream into the void?
Hmm. Yeah, I've definitely been there.
Well, today we're diving into the minds of the masterminds behind those digital experiences. User Experience Analysts.
UX. Great.
You got it. And to guide our deep dive, we've got insights from RoleCatcher, a career platform packed with real stories from UX professionals, ready to become digital detectives.
I'm in. Let's crack the code of good UX.
So first things first, what exactly does a UX analyst do? I mean, we hear UX thrown around a lot these days.
It's more than just making things look pretty, that's for sure. It's about understanding how people actually use technology.
Okay, so it's like they're studying human behavior.
Exactly. They're analyzing how people interact with websites, apps, even software. Think about those times you've been frustrated with a clunky interface, like you can't find what you're looking for.
Oh, all the time, especially those online forms that just never end.
Right. UX analysts are the ones figuring out how to prevent those moments of frustration. They're like, how can we make this smoother, more intuitive, even enjoyable?
So they're problem solvers at their core.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're using data and research to back up their design decisions.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here. But RoleCatcher also mentions something about travel. Is that right? Do UX analysts get to travel for work?
Oh, sometimes. They might travel to observe users in their natural environments.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like if they're designing a mobile banking app, they might go observe how people actually use their phones to manage their money on the go.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It's like being a digital anthropologist. So we've got problem solving, we've got a bit of travel. RoleCatcher makes it sound like a pretty sweet gig, especially with the high demand and competitive salaries. But let's be real, there's got to be a downside, right? What's the catch?
Well, imagine being the voice of the user in a room full of developers who are laser focused on the technical side of things. Sometimes advocating for the user can be a challenge.
I can imagine. You're trying to balance what's best for the user with what's feasible from a technical standpoint.
Exactly, it's a balancing act for sure. But when you see your design solutions come to life and people are actually enjoying the experience, that's where the magic happens.
Okay, so challenges and rewards. Got it. But now I'm curious, how do you even break into this field?
RoleCatcher emphasized the power of a killer portfolio. They actually shared a story of a UX designer who landed their dream job at Google, just from the strength of their online portfolio.
Whoa, Google, that's impressive. So it's not just about having the right degree, it's about showcasing your skills.
Definitely. A portfolio is like your visual resume. It's a chance to show off your creativity and problem-solving skills.
A portfolio that lands you a job at Google. Okay, I'm listening. But let's rewind for those of us who are just starting out. What kind of stuff should we even be putting in a UX portfolio?
That's where RoleCatcher's examples come in handy. They showcase portfolios from different career stages, like entry-level all the way up to senior roles.
So we can see what a successful UX portfolio looks like at every level.
Exactly. It's super helpful. Let's stick with those entry-level folks for a sec. What kind of experience are we talking about here?
Yeah, because you don't have years of on-the-job projects when we're first starting out.
Right. But think about personal projects. RoleCatcher had this one example. It was a student who redesigned their university's website.
Oh, wow. That's ambitious.
It was.
Mm.
And even though they didn't have professional experience, that project proved they could take initiative, solve problems, all the good stuff.
Shows passion, too. Okay, so personal projects are key. What about the tools? I hear a lot about Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD. How crucial is it to master these early on?
Mastering industry standard tools like Figma, totally key. You can create interactive prototypes, collaborate with developers in real time.
So it's not just static mock-ups anymore.
Nope. And having those skills, showcasing those in your portfolio, it's a game changer when you're looking for those entry-level roles.
Okay, so we've got projects, we've got tools. Anything else these aspiring UXers should be doing to stand out?
They're diving into user research, even if it's volunteer work. Like RoleCatcher gave an example of someone who helped a nonprofit with usability testing on their website.
Oh, that's smart. So even unpaid experience can be valuable if it's relevant. It all comes back to getting that real-world experience, right?
100%. Okay, so let's say you land that entry-level UX role. Congratulations. What's next? How do you climb that career ladder?
Yeah, what does that progression even look like?
Think of it like leveling up in a video game. As a junior UX analyst, you get to take on more responsibility. You're conducting user interviews, you're running surveys, maybe even leading some usability testing sessions yourself.
So you're not just observing anymore, you're really interacting with users and getting that firsthand feedback.
Exactly. And that's where those soft skills come in handy. Communication, empathy, being able to really understand and translate what users are telling you.
So you need to be a people person too, not just a tech whiz. I like it. RoleCatcher mentioned something interesting about junior UX analysts. They're not just assisting with design, they're actual creating. What does that look like in practice?
Imagine you're tasked with redesigning the checkout process for an e-commerce website. A junior UX analyst would be involved in every step of that, from doing the user research to creating wireframes and prototypes to testing those designs with real users.
It's like seeing your ideas come to life on the screen. I bet that's exciting. But what about those overachievers out there? What's the next level after junior UX analyst?
Mid-level UX analyst. At this point, you've got a few years of experience under your belt. You've got a really solid understanding of those user-centered design principles. You're basically leading those user research initiatives.
So you're not just executing on tasks, you're driving strategy.
Exactly. You're advocating for the user at every turn, making sure their needs are met, while also, of course, balancing the goals of the business.
Right. Got to keep everyone happy. Sounds like a delicate dance. What else?
Oh, and at this level, you're probably mentoring some of those junior team members too, sharing your knowledge, helping them grow.
It's like you become the mentor you wish you had. But wait, there's one more level, right? The senior UX analyst. What sets them apart?
The senior UX analysts, they're like the strategic masterminds, you know?
Yeah.
They're behind those really successful digital products and services. And they've got the experience to back it up.
They've seen it all at this point.
Pretty much. They don't just know how to create a good user experience, they understand why it works. They understand the psychology behind user behavior.
That's a good point. The why is just as important as the how. So what kind of stuff are these senior UX analysts doing on a daily basis?
Well, they're leading those cross-functional teams, working with developers, product managers, everyone really, to make sure that user-centered design is happening throughout the entire process.
They're like the UX evangelists.
Yeah. It's a challenging role, for sure, but it can be incredibly rewarding.
Going from designing buttons to shaping entire digital ecosystems, that's quite a journey. But it doesn't end there, does it? I mean, technology is constantly changing, so UX must be evolving too, right?
Oh, absolutely. The world of UX never stands still. Which brings us to a pretty important question for all those aspiring UX analysts out there. Are you ready for a lifetime of learning?
A lifetime of learning. I mean, I knew tech moved fast, but that's intense.
It's true, but it keeps things interesting, right? The minute you think you've mastered UX, bam, something new pops up.
So what's on the horizon? What are those big changes that future UX designers need to be ready for?
RoleCatcher had some fascinating insights on this.
Yeah.
One that really jumped out. Voice interfaces. We're already talking to our phones, our smart speakers, even our refrigerators.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I hadn't even thought about it that way.
Right, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're moving towards a world where we interact with technology using just our voices.
So how do you even design for that? It's not like you can click a button or scroll through a page.
Exactly. UX analysts are going to need a whole new set of skills. They'll have to think about how to make interactions feel natural, intuitive, all with audio cues and feedback.
Whoa, that's a whole other level of design thinking. What about AI, though? You think AI could ever replace UX analysts altogether?
I don't think so, but it'll definitely change the game. Imagine using AI to personalize those user experiences. Like, a website could adapt in real time based on your past behavior.
No more generic one-size-fits-all experiences. It's all tailored to you.
Precisely. Which means UX analysts can focus on those big picture things.
Yeah.
Understanding human behavior, crafting compelling narratives.
They're like the storytellers of the digital world. Okay, this is blowing my mind a little bit. But we can't forget about VR, right? RoleCatcher mentioned that too. I thought VR was mainly for gaming.
Think beyond gaming. We're talking healthcare, education, even tourism. Imagine designing a VR experience that transports someone to the Louvre Museum, all from their living room.
Wow, talk about immersive. Okay, so we've got voice interfaces, AI, virtual reality. Are those the big three for the future of UX?
They're definitely major players, no doubt.
Right.
But it's not just about the tech itself, right? It's about using those advancements to create experiences that are ethical, inclusive.
Human-centered, like we were talking about before.
Exactly. That's the real challenge and the incredible opportunity for all you future UX gurus out there.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of UX, what's the one thing our listeners should take away?
Stay curious. The UX field is all about learning, experimenting, never settling for the status quo. Don't be afraid to challenge assumptions, get creative.
And always be asking, what if?
Exactly.
This has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for exploring the ever-evolving world of user experience with us.